All right, what's going on, friend? I don't know what is happening with this damn thing, so give me a moment while I figure out. Sometimes I can't stand mobile shit. Sunlight, make it stop. I don't want sun. Let's reorient your comments. There we go. Okay, this should be better, hopefully. Need a Carversations intro with a car crashing? Yes, I do. I do, in fact, need that, Trey. Yes, I'll get there. We'll get the production value up eventually. Hell, it's only been like 4 years. Like 4 years. So yeah, we're working on the production value. Um, see if I can. Okay, so I wanted to the conversation today is going to center around like state of like games and the gaming culture. Is a pretty fast and loose title because I don't know if that's exactly I don't know if that's going to be exactly what um, like we get to, but and I didn't want to make this specifically about Assassin's Creed Shadows, but because I haven't played the game, but I keep getting pulled in different directions and wanting to play it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like it's a video game, like people should play what they want to play. Um, it's more the morbid curiosity behind the whole thing. Um, I'm morbidly curious because a lot of the evidence, like, I wonder where this evidence is coming from of like now in particular Assassin's Creed Shadows being bad in the way that like the stealth mechanics are broken, um, and like you could just like fall into like the grass and you disappear. I don't know if that's a difficulty setting thing. I don't know if it was a bug that was patched. Some of the dialogue options have looked pretty cringe, even though they're optional. The optional romance stuff, like again, it's optional, so I'm not too worried about that. Still looked like pretty cringe. Um, but like, there's other people like that are seem to be enjoying it, and they're saying like, "Oh, the change in the seasons is a really cool mechanic. It works well. Parkour looks good." Um, so I don't know, man. And all the while, like again, it kind of comes back to like I don't even know what to believe anymore when it comes to game news because like I see people playing it, I'm like, well, that looks atrocious, and then other people are like, this is actually a lot of fun. Like I'm having a good time with it. The season's changing is cool. Like like okay, well, cool, makes sense. Like all right, sorry, I'm just looking at. Um, Jax wants to play as a black samurai murdering Asians. Own the chuds. Yeah. um, I don't I like that part of the game. you know, that part of the game. I don't really care about Yasuke. I don't know anything about Yasuke, and I don't think anyone gave a damn about the guy until you know until they said they wanted to put him in a video game, or they announced that he was in a video game. No one cared about him. No one researched him. And all of a sudden, he became this like cultural figurehead that people needed to celebrate. And to that end, it's kind of like annoying. Um, but like you know, I have no skin in the game, right? Like I don't really care that Yasuke is the main character. I don't care that the other chick is. You could also play as her. I think the dual protagonist is interesting for sure. You can switch between them. I'm sure there's some interesting things that you can do there. But like really, so this discussion, like it sparked my curiosity because again, like I see people who like so like Pirate Software has had a lot of good things to say about the game. And they said like, this is really cool. But he's like, it's hard to pinpoint where people don't really like this. My plosives are putting out a lot of poop. But like I was watching Coke Carnage play it, and he like stopped his stream early to go eat lunch. Then it was like, I don't think I'm playing this game anymore. Um, and actually, what turned me off from it more than anything was like the broken stealth mechanics, but also like they're selling as a microtransaction like a map to like open the area, and I just thought, okay, again, this is like everything people like, even the people who are just crazy leftists, like game journalists, like they should be able to agree that's like selling stuff like that in game is awful. Everyone has skin in the game, or we feel bad dad joke. So yeah, they're selling a an item in in the store that unlocks the map to a region. And I just think like, oh, okay, so I wouldn't call that pay to win, but you know, it is certainly it's like a predatory thing. Like, hey, if you just open your wallet, you don't have to do the work that other people are going to have to do to unlock, to see this area. So Co Carnage was like, yeah, about that. I don't. But Ubisoft, it paid to access early, yeah. Which again, like that is something that I thought that gamers like by and large were against. Like collectively, that was part of bringing down like that was part of bringing down the establishment in gaming was we are not paying to access early like in this way. Like you can't do that. We're not doing it. But that's not something like I haven't heard a lot of people talk about. I've heard Co talk about it. I saw Asmongold comment on it. Um, Now Pirate Software, I've seen parts of his stuff where he's really liked the gameplay, um, and but hasn't I haven't heard him comment about that microtransaction. Um, so the but it makes me wonder, like it makes me wonder, is this game good? The younger gamers who started on mobile games are used to those mechanics that, yeah. Um, it just makes me wonder how enjoyable the game is. Like, is this different enough from what we've played in the past? Like, is there an enjoyable gameplay experience beyond the microtransactions and beyond the. I don't even care about the Blackstone run. Like, like honestly, I'm kind of sick of hearing about it. I think that's the least of the game's problem. It always has been. Like, I don't look to. I've never looked at. I've never looked at Assassin's Creed games as historically accurate. Like, I've even dabbled in writing historical fiction, and I know like you have to take creative liberties. You know, like I've messed with those things, and it's fun. So do I do like should I should I honor Japan? You know, sure. You know, like if Japan's wishes were don't fuck with our history, I might honor that. Say like, oh, don't maybe we're overstepping our bounds, and like maybe they don't really care for this depiction. But even then, like we've done that a lot with with our with our own media. You know, like the uh, like more recently, something that was adapted for a movie was the movie Sully with Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart. It chronicled the flight that landed in the Hudson River in New York. Birds like flew through the engine. They had to do like an emergency landing in the Hudson River and the East River, one of the two. I don't know. So the problem with that movie was they depicted the like FAA board as like these like evil tyrants when like everyone was supportive of the guy and it wasn't nearly as like bad as like depicted in the movie. So like like people twist history all the time to reflect their own like needs and ends. They want you to sort of sense with some outlandish things like character participating. Yeah, but again, like is I guess like how I mean, and this is the thing. We most people are not up on the history of Yasuke and what he did, and I would challenge most people. I mean, I haven't done any research, but I would challenge most people who are the loudest about it that they don't know much about other than what they wikied about it. Like, what is so like how is this game different? Like you know, as far as being historically adjacent, I don't know the answer to that. I'm asking the question. You know, people can, if you're watching afterwards, feel free to drop a comment about how this is different and being historically adjacent. Um, like that's again, a lot of characters were made up. Again, I don't. I know. I have not played this game. I do not know anything about it. It's more. It's more the outrage surrounding it, and then like some people like it. Some people really like it. Some people really don't. Um, there still seems to be about um, when I checked yesterday morning, there was still like 35,000 people playing. It peaked at like 60,000 over the weekend. Just on Steam, they've been boasting 2 million players. Again, I don't, I don't know what any of that means other than when you start getting into the billions, people claim that that's a huge success. Um, I do recognize that Ubisoft is also on its own downward spiral. Um, you know, with its stock prices and all that. Like, very obvious that Ubisoft is struggling. And I'm not saying that everything they did in this game is good because I don't think it is. But again, where do we stop? Where do people stop having fun with games? Like, is this a game that people can enjoy? Like, that a majority of the people would enjoy? You know, I am as I said, morbidly curious about it, and I'm like tempted. I'm tempted to drop the $18 on a month of Ubisoft Plus just to play it. Just imagine if someone had you playing as a character flying a plane into the Twin Towers on 9/11. Uh, get it? Like me personally, like my personal name. How is that? How is that the same as this? I guess. Like you'll need. I guess you would need to explain to me how how that's the same. The fuck? Sorry. No, like you play as the terrorist that did it. And they changed their backstory. Wait, so is Yasuke a terrorist? Explain it to me like I'm a 2 year old. Like I'm obviously driving, so you're gonna have to like explain it a little bit more. Like you're so are we equating? So is Yasuke a terrorist? Like are we not supposed to like? Are we not supposed to like Yasuke in real life? Is he was he a like some sort of like bad person in Japanese history that we shouldn't be celebrating? But it's a legitimate question. I'm not trying to be perfect. I don't know who Yasuke is. I know he existed. I know there's a picture of him in samurai armor, or he wasn't a samurai. He was that samurai adjacent thing that people call it. Whatever the name is. I don't know the name. Again, I'm 100% sorry. I'm ignorant here on this, but I know he's not actually a samurai. I forget what they called him, but I know there's a name for it. So that like again to that end, I'm curious about. No, you're saying that historical implications don't matter. No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying someone misattributed 9/11. Would you still be okay with it? No, no. Okay. People stretch the truth. That's what I was saying. People stretch the truth to their own ends, but like it does matter. It does matter. Like historical accuracy should matter in some respects. The question in the context of what I'm talking about is, are people overly outraged at something that quite frankly doesn't totally matter because the game itself is enjoyable and could tell a good story. Because people are okay with stretching the truth for a movie like Sully to be almost historically inaccurate because it tells a good story. Braveheart, not historically accurate even a little bit, but people hold it up as an amazing movie story. So how much can the truth be stretched if we're making Yasuke a protagonist in feudal Japan if he is a figure still in question? Who is Yasuke is the question. Who is he? Who should he be in actual Japanese feudal like history? Is he is he an antagonist in Japanese culture? Is he someone who is not? Is he someone who's reviled and not revered? That is the question that needs to be answered. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Because again, American Western history is often egregiously misrepresented in Hollywood for a good story, and people, yay, celebrate. But now that, again, now that this is, now that we're doing a depiction of Eastern history, you know, this is bad. We should not. This isn't good. Yasuke bad, or too inaccurate, too historically inaccurate. You know, this would probably be a good thing to like actually sit on stream and research because I have no clue who this guy is. I know that I know that he exists in history, but to what end, I am not sure. And I don't know if I've ever like heard anyone really talk about like who he was, who he is. I know they I know they drastically expand his story. I think there's a bit of mystery surrounding him, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong. So that's what like that's why I'm saying like the state of the games and game culture is it it has me worried because I think we're concentrating on the wrong thing. I think we're still concentrating on the wrong thing. I think it's totally appropriate to question the game's mechanics and how stealth is broken. Um, you know, there's also the question of, and I brought this up on the midweek hump, is how do romantic choices figure into the animus and how it desynchronizes or synchronizes with choices in the timeline. Like, I thought we were just sort of on a linear path that we were discovering. Um, I do think that playing rap music, saying "ching chong, bing bong" in the final fight is kind of silly, though. Is that real? See, this is where, and this is sad. This is sad. I don't believe that that's a thing. I do not believe it. I will have to play the game on my own, get to that point, and witness it for myself. I can't believe that anymore. Or I'll have to like watch someone play it live. I don't believe that's a thing. And you're probably joking, you know. But I don't believe clips anymore. You can make a clip like that. I could put I could put rap music to anything I want and put it out there. Be like, oh, see, oh my god, can you believe this? How racist. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The worst part of game culture are the commentators who didn't play games and make the excuse that they're retro gamers. I just don't believe at this point. I will have to play it in order to believe that that's a thing. If it is the thing, that seems culturally insensitive and kind of silly. I don't even know if culturally insensitive is the right word. Like, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but you know, I don't know, man. I get at some point or another, I just get annoyed that um, that I don't know that this is a fight not worth fighting. I just sent you a raw gameplay. How do you know it's a raw gameplay clip? Played it. If you've played one, you've played them all. I think we all need to get back to judging games on their merits. Yeah, I agree. Like, Well, and that's the thing is like I see all these people playing the game, and like it's such a mixed bag. The game seems to be a mixed bag of like, well, the gameplay mechanics are broken, but the story is fun. Like the seasonal changes are really cool and add depth to the game, and it's something kind of new. Um, so like I don't know. Like I don't. I've been looking to enjoy an Assassin's Creed game again. I don't know if it's this one. It probably isn't. Yeah, that's a good point. And that's what I'm getting at here is that like that's what I'm getting at here is that I don't believe like unless I'm watching someone play the game live, I can't believe a clip anymore, even if it was from someone that I liked. You know, I I I almost don't want to believe it because it's like, well, someone could have taken that clip and from Pirate Software, Hypnotic, Vera, whatever, and changed it to mean or say something else. And that's not fair to the people who are just like, I trust this guy because I like him and he plays games and I want to know what's up. I judge AC Shadows on its merits of being a shit game and a bad story disrespecting Japan, so I'm not playing it. I Okay, well, I guess my question is, if you haven't played the game, how do you judge it? Um, and then like I guess disrespecting Japan. I don't. What is it disrespecting? I don't. No one's been able to answer that for me. Was it okay? Okay. Again, deceptive clips. I I I genuinely mean it, I'm genuinely interested in how this game disrespects Japan. Like in not a leftist I'm a bitch need to bitch about something way. We're at a point where you can say anything absurd or negative about Ubisoft or China and it will be believed on face value. Yeah, I no, that's what I mean is like I don't care like what like I just really want to know what is disrespectful about that game. What is disrespectful about that game that's not disrespectful about any other game that twists history to its own ends to make a buck? Again, am I supporting the people who are doing it? Am I saying like, oh, these woke people are so great for putting this person? No, because two things could be right at the same time. One, it doesn't celebrate a Japanese person in Japan's culture. What about the other protagonist? Is she Japanese? Two, you can desecrate shrines. They patched that out day one. They patched that out day one. So the other protagonist isn't she a Japanese assassin? What's wrong with her? She seems to be the like Yasuke's in there and he's on the cover, but as far as like the Assassin's Creed goes, like I get the feeling that she's the more like assassin centric character because she's got the hidden blade and all that. Am I wrong? Yasuke is a person from Japan's history and has American focused music instead of historically Japanese music style. Throughout the whole wait, so they are they just playing like gangster rap the whole time? I'd be interested to see what the soundtrack is like. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean it should have Japanese music. Is there no Japanese music in that game? Like I find that hard to believe that there's not someone playing like a something in like the towns. Like someone's got a boombox on every corner. Look, Shags, I like Ghost of Tsushima. I don't like AC Shadows. No, that's fine. I think you're biased against Ubisoft. I think that's a thing. I just think the game was made by people who really don't understand Japan and don't do proper research. It seems more like gleeful ignorance than intended disrespect. Probably that. Um, probably that. The only thing I think is really odd is how Nobunaga's sister is portrayed and made a love interest. Also, the shoehorning in of gender identity in feudal Japan is bizarre. Yeah, it's a bit that like those are things I think those are like legit criticisms. Like I do think the gender identity stuff is very strange. Um, you know, like there is something interesting to be said. Like these like it's likely that, and I no, I don't even know if anyone in this chat could possibly know. But my guess is that any sort of thing like that was kept way under wraps in that time period. And if you did have like a non-binary like femboy dude like was that was in there, like that person did not live very long. And I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Maybe there was some weird underground like fuck shack for all that shit for like the bourgeoisie to like engage in that crap because that's just probably what they did. Who knows? I don't know. But like I don't like I'm not a scholar of Japanese history. You're not a scholar of Japanese history. Like I do think you're right though. I do think that this was made by people who were just like historically ignorant. I don't think that they were necessarily being intentionally malicious about it, you know. I think they were romanticizing their own idea about what it could be. But then again, like at what point do we excuse it because it's historical fiction, right? Braveheart is one of the most historically inaccurate like movies of all time, yet it's like celebrated, you know. But calling themselves non-binary or having they them pronouns was highly yeah, of course. You we can call out bad things when they exist. I'm not saying that that's like that dialogue option or if they actually say they them or my pronouns like in the actual game or use the term non-binary, then yes, that that is something that's jarring that takes you out of the world and just like Dragon Age Inquisition is bad. It's bad writing. That I'm not going to deny. The question that I really focus on here is what are we why are we focusing on things well what I just lost my thread of thought. Sorry. Okay. The question becomes like game culture, like when people are intentionally lying about certain things within the gaming space in order to garner some sort of attention, you know, and I don't even know if anyone's done it necessarily, or like, deceptive editing for like the stealth mechanics. Whoever did that and said this was a thing, why? Like, why wasn't it properly explained what was going on? My ancestor, Sir John the Mid, I can't read that. The Menteith, betrayed William Wallace. Oh, really? You son of a bitch. You killed Mel Gibson. Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. I'm back now. Um, why are we things? I want, I just make gaming great again. Jesus Christ, like bring some sort of fun back to games. Like in some small respect, I understand why Fighting Cowboy was so upset with people in his chat and why he freaked out the way he did. Like I get it. Like I get his frustration in it because at some point, like at some point, people just gotta like try games on their own. And I have said for a minute that streamers, myself included, have likely contributed to one of the greatest like downfalls of like fun in games in so many different ways because it created like it created this like need to like you need to be playing this, you need to be doing this, and while you're doing it you need to be um playing cowboy was being gay. I think so. Fighting Cowboy is more of a gamer than most people. That dude has like the most complete walkthroughs games I've ever seen in my life. And I've never he's never been in the he's never been in the uh like this sort of like space of like um getting not getting in trouble, just getting called out for something, getting caught up in it. I guess you can believe what you want. I like his stuff. I'll continue to support it. But like it's I mean that moment you could consider that moment like a gay moment for him. Like I do think that if there's only a couple of people in chat trolling you, like you should probably just ignore them or just mute them, whatever. Go about your day. But if you have like that guy has lots of people watching him at any given time. It's not even about being good at walkthroughs. Like yeah, he's good at walkthroughs, but like to be as good as he is at that stuff, you have to put like hundreds of hours into everything you do. And like he doesn't just do like my Hello Kitty Adventure Island. Like he does like very in-depth like games. So I don't know. Again, I maybe I'm holding him too high as a creator, but I've always appreciated his content because it was about the game and not like about the messaging. And that's what I want a lot of times is I just need a walkthrough on something. I need to know how to do this. What's up, Mephisto? But all so many of these people have just reached their breaking point with stuff, and they're done hearing and seeing about it every single second of the day. And I don't blame him. Oh shit! We'll spill my coffee. I don't know. I hope I turned out everyone. I haven't even reached out for guest spots. Why not? You turned out. Oh, you turned. What's going on? What's happening? I think some outrage is warranted, and others are just over. Yeah, I think some is fine, but I don't. I think I think like it's like kind of what Extra Zero was saying. The rage merchants, like, to some extent, like it's just about making people mad. You know, the beast. What's up, brother? I'm done with your wannabe aviators. They're not aviators. They're just like beach sunglasses. I can't listen to both the messaging and the anti-messaging. Yeah, it's tough, dude. Oh, was the beast on your show? I'll have to check that out. I think a lot of us are done with it all. Yeah. No, they're not. These are just like these are just like something you'd wear to the beach. Like, they're not aviators. They're not even like the same style. They're just like plastic frame. I haven't worn aviators since like 2006. And that's exactly the last time anybody should have watched, or sorry, should have um should have worn aviators. Oh, it was just a chat. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, I loved my time on your show. I asked to be on like 3 episodes last year, and you never got back to me on them. I was quite upset, actually. I cried myself to sleep. No, hit me up because I wanted to talk about like Snatch. I wanted to talk about, where are the other two? There was like there's a couple that I wanted to talk about. You didn't get back to me. Yeah, I remember we talked and you were like, "Oh shit." I said, "You're like, oh, pick the ones that you want to be a part of." And this was like in like February, I think. And I was like, "I want this one, this one, and this one." You're like, "Wow, those are really far away, but we'll revisit." And I thought you put my names down, and then yeah. So, but I thought, oh, maybe he's just pissed. Maybe he doesn't want me on, which is totally valid. Like, you could have been like, I don't really want him on right now. I don't care. Like, I was just bummed because I really wanted to talk about Snatch. I love like early Guy Ritchie stuff. I don't remember exact because there's one around my birthday that I wanted to do, and there was Snatch, and maybe I forget what the other one was. Yeah, send it to me because you know, because I could like postpone or not do a stream during the week, and and then just do it on a Saturday as long as I'm around. Okay, well, just make your move now. Get off your horn. You made it. You made a stink. Now get off the horn. Yeah, so I don't know, man. We got a lot of comic book related stuff this year. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm sure I'm going to be going to see Snow White this weekend. I have a feeling that my wife is going to drag me and the kids to see that. Ooh, Sin City. I was actually just watching something on Sin City. You know what you should put on your list? You should put the movie Stay on your list somewhere. It's with Ewan McGregor, Naomi Watts, and Ryan Gosling. I want to talk about that because I'm actually in the middle of rewatching that. I want to talk about that movie because I'm probably gonna do like my own little like hidden gem video on that because I remember watching it. I think back in like 2005 when it came out, and I don't remember anything about it anymore. Um. Anyways, getting back to the topic at hand, I just I'm bummed overall that I think that we're here. I'm bummed that games have like just sort of fallen victim to the you can't enjoy this thing. It's not you can't enjoy this because of X, Y, and Z. Now, I mean to be clear, I don't think that anyone's saying like you can't go buy Assassin's Creed Shadows or whatever game is coming out by what woke company. Um, um, but you know, I guess I just want to see a shift in people's mindset again. Just sort of like a fair weather, like games are coming out. Let's just do the thing. I mean, it all comes back to me. It all comes back to people are just online too much. It's obvious when I see people like there's a whole side like TikTok. It's funny because TikTok is very 50-50, whereas like my side of Twitter is very obviously like anti Ubisoft. But when I go on like TikTok, like I'll see videos that are like mostly positive about Assassin's Creed Shadows and like the actual gameplay and stuff. There's people commenting on certain things, but like generally people are like wanting to have a good time with games and are probably less connected to the negative discourse, which I think like it's probably a really good thing. Um, what's up, zombie? Like people they just need to get back to enjoying a video game and not spending like people spend more time. What's up, Shield Wall? People spend more time researching like the people who are like making the game and like following this like development cycle than they ever do of actually playing it, which is odd to me. Play looks like shit. The dialogue, what voice acting is abhorrent, and that's the thing that I'm talking about. The Beast is like, but I hear the other side. There, that I hear other people saying the exact opposite. That the voice acting is not bad. That this like a lot of the gameplay is good. Yet like there are bad parts of it. I'm not denying that, but got a sick day from work. Can't stop hacking up along. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. And there's a lot of value in going back and playing classics. Like, I mean, once I'm done with Death Stranding, I plan on going and playing through the Mass Effect trilogy, maybe even Andromeda. We'll see. But like, I just want to get back to playing a game that like I know is good. I could probably experience it for like a very similar like first time feel. It's been so long since I've played the Mass Effect games. I don't give a crap about who made the game, but it matters if the ones making it have a woke agenda. I just want a good game. Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, and that's the thing is that, but I and the problem with the gaming culture and all that is like I'm just not even sure who and what to believe anymore regarding regarding the games. Like I feel like there's a lot of there like we're starting to see deceptive editing. We're starting to see like people just outright misrepresenting things. And I'm not saying I haven't seen any particular person, but I just don't believe this stuff. Like I'm hesitant to believe anything. You should play MGS5. That's a good one. I don't know. Maybe if I'm not Kojima'd out by the time I'm done with Death Stranding, I'll think about. I have MGS5, so I will for sure consider that. I was deep into the Ezio stuff, like liked Black Flag, but checked out by Odyssey and Valhalla. My kid likes those though. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what I don't like about the Odyssey and Valhalla and was like the gearing system. I didn't particularly care for like the gear. Um, like you know, call me old school. I much prefer, you know, upgrading your toolkit and like the available weapons that you have, not your armor. I think that was a sort of a downfall to the series. No, and that's what I mean. Shield Wall is like I'm kind of like it's hard to know who to believe. Even people like I want to move away from that. I don't want to consume this shit that's just trying to make me angry. Like I want to enjoy a video game. You know, been playing Death Stranding now for about 2 weeks. I fucking love that game. You know, like it's good. It like it's a totally wonky, weird experience. I love it. Um, I'm gonna go back to comfort food. Quite honestly, I'm going back to comfort food. The main difference between MGS5 and Death Stranding is that Death Stranding has Kojima unfiltered. MGS5 and MGS series as a whole seemed like Kojima was a bit more reined in and had actual editors. Yeah, no, totally. You're 100% right. You're 100%. But I really enjoyed. I I played the Phantom Pain, not Phantom Pain. I played Ground Zeroes leading up to the release of MGS5, and I enjoyed it. I just like MGS5 lost me because the open world seemed like too much. I don't know why. I think here's my take on Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think when the game goes on a deep sale and you could pay like $15 for it, I think it'll be worth playing. Like all these new Assassin's Creed games are probably much more like viable to play um like in on a deep sale. Syndicate, I think Syndicate was a hidden gem, honestly. Syndicate was a hidden gem. Syndicate was fun. Mm. Ooh. Yeah, I'm interested to see like how Assassin's Creed Shadows like gets patched. There were a couple of things that like you know watching some of the combat it seemed to be a bit broken. The stealth mechanics seemed to be a bit broken. like these are legit criticisms of it, right? Like there's no reason, in my opinion, that a AAA game should be um should be that broken on release. There's no reason at all. Um, and that is like that's something that AAA developers need to fix ASAP. Well, like the stealth mechanics, I do. Someone said that the oh my god, what main reason I'm not getting AC Shadows is that in-game store pay $10 to unlock the full map, pay for legendary gear that you can't get in the game, and yeah, no, again, another legitimate criticism. Right, 100% zombie. Those are the legit criticisms that, like, Yasuke being black, like them being historically inaccurate, all that stuff is tertiary to the real issues of the game, which is predatory, like predatory like game like store, broken stealth mechanics, broken combat, um like that it to me is the real issue. AAA games should not have that, especially one that has been delayed as long as it has been. There's just there's no reason for it at all. Right. The game of the year edition, which again, like it's a part of this conversation of game culture and where it's gone is that people continue to excuse these developers, like all of the stuff that we're talking about, like that are legit criticisms of the game, like every gamer should be talking about as like this is broken and inexcusable. I don't care how many concurrent players that they have on Steam right now, and now we need to own the chuds about it. Like that has nothing to do with it. The real criticism is that we have a game that's broken, was delayed several times. It was delayed several times, only to still be broken. The whole Yasuke thing got blown out of proportion, just like the fucking pronouncing with Starfield. There are so many important issues that have made. Yeah. What's up, assimilating knowledge? How's it going, man? Um, yeah, I like this is part of the game culture that needs to like come together and just say, okay, we've had enough. Ubisoft, we're not paying for this shit. Like this is inexcusable. There should be articles on articles written about how you can unlock legendary gear with in-game money, that you can unlock the full map. Like that to me is the same thing with loot boxes. Like Overwatch bringing back loot boxes. Like people, we don't we we're over loot boxes. We don't want that shit. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Yeah. Yeah, and these games, and it just depends on the game. Like, so something like Death Stranding, like having an offline mode kind of sucks. Like, you can play it offline, but you just don't get access to everyone's structures that are there, as far as I know, or they won't update. Like, I would still get access to the roads I built and that my game recognizes, but like if I'm in offline mode, I can't I can't see like what other people are picking up, and I can't grab cargo that people stored and that they need delivered. So there's just a major problem with game companies, game culture, and I want it to change, man. I want something to be fixed. but I don't know. I don't know if it. Uh, it'd be fine with just private servers with 76, but that's a subscription on top of the pay to play price. Sure, the game goes on sale for like $5. It's still, yeah, yeah. It's. I don't know. It's a difficult thing to navigate. I think when you over monetize your game, like when games monetize everything, I think you just need to bite the bullet and hit the free to play model because it's obviously a game as a service. So like you're putting out updates, you have content that people can buy. It's just we've reached a very interesting point where I think people are just they continue to excuse like bad business practices and also bad work ethic and bad like system implementation for owning one side or the other. Like again, like the romance options in this game are optional. Don't engage in them. You know, if you don't want to romance one side or the other, don't do it. It's there because someone wanted it there. Again, I would argue it breaks the immersion of the animus. Like these games have always been you have one path that you're unlocking memories in your DNA, and that's how you access like so having options would just seem to break that, but I don't know. Yeah, well, these games aren't historical truth. They are historical fiction made by people with a variety of backgrounds. That's the difference. Um, Again, like Yasuke is an actual person, but you know, so was William Wallace, and we see how that plays out. Is anyone excited for the upcoming Dune Awakening game mode for the by the same people who made Conan Exiles? I don't. I'm never really a fan of games that exist in like universes like that, because I feel like it pigeonholes the game. I didn't I I didn't like Conan Exiles the way everyone else did. So good. I think this is a good conversation. It's been an awesome conversation. I do need to head over to my meeting. I appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with me and have a listen. I do think this is a conversation that people need to continue to have in one form or another. And I'll try and do something even extra like that's not in my car. But Shieldball, thanks for joining. Space Zombie, hope you feel better, bro. And everyone else who's in chat, Trey 50, Daniel, Extra Zero, The Beast, Pac Man, good to see you. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Mephisto's here, assimilating knowledge. Uh, who else we got? Who else we got? Extra Zero, I said. Pac Man. I think that's it. Sick Lad? Sick Lad, I didn't even see you. How's it going? Great to see everyone. It was awesome. I'm done for today. We'll see you guys next time. Love y'all. Peace.
I like to put stuff online.